Good. Just come to a comfortable seated position and close your eyes. And bring your hands to heart center. And just start to arrive at your mat by taking a few deep breaths. Notice how the floor feels beneath you. And let's do a body scan starting at the top of the head, trailing all the way down to the tips of the toes. Identifying all those places of tension and tightness. We're going to send our exhales to these places during the practice today. Let's take a full inhale through the nose and a cleansing exhale through the mouth. You can relax your hands, maybe roll the wrists around. We'll start with some spinal warm-up. On an inhale, let's lift the arms up, keeping the shoulders separate from the ears. Exhale, right palm down to the mat. We're stretching over to the right, opening up that left side. Inhale, center. Exhale, left palm down, stretching over to the left, opening up the right side body. Inhale, center. One more time each side. Exhale, down. Try to sink a little lower. Inhale, rise. Exhale, opposite way. Inhale, up. On an exhale, we're bringing the elbows down, hugging them close to our sides, squeezing our shoulder blades here, pushing all the air out. On an inhale, we lift, filling the lungs. Exhale, down, squeeze the shoulders. We're strengthening the upper back. One more time, inhale, lift. Exhale, pull down and squeeze. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, we're twisting with our core towards the right, then bringing our arms down, then turning the gaze over the shoulder. So we break it up separately to protect the spine. Our core is engaged. Inhale, come to center. Exhale, turn towards the left. Then we bring the arms down, then look over the shoulder. Try and take full breaths. Inhale, rise. On an exhale, we're hinging forward at our hips, bringing the palms down, and then just walking them forward until you feel the pull in your hips and hamstrings. And on an exhale, we're just trying to melt our upper body. So we're rounding the spine, letting our head become heavy. We're trying to push our hips down towards the mat, really stretching into the low back here. And just try to melt on every exhale. Hold for about 30 more seconds. inhale, let's push into our palms and walk our arms over to the left side, hovering over that left knee. On your next exhale, we're rounding down again. Inhale, let's push back into the palms. We're walking all the way over to the right side now. Hovering over the knee, and on an exhale, rounding the spine, lowering the head. On an inhale, let's walk our palms back to center. On an exhale, we slide back to neutral. And you can extend the legs, let the blood come back in. We'll do a little bit of neck stretches before we start to move. So option 2, sit on the palms with the hands facing in. And you can either do it with the palms facing your body or the mat. It just changes the angle of the stretch to the inside or the outside of your arm. On an exhale, let's bring right ear towards right shoulder. And turn the nose towards the floor. On an exhale, roll your way chin to chest. Next inhale, let's work our way left ear, left shoulder. And turn your nose towards the left armpit. Inhale back to center. Release your hands. And we're going to come to tabletop. So I'm going to turn sideways on my mat. If you need padding for your wrists or knees, you can use a blanket or a beach towel, or you can roll up your mat. We start with a neutral spine, shoulders stacked over the wrists, hips over the knees. On an inhale, we're lifting the chin, opening the collarbone, letting the belly hang low. Exhale, tuck your chin, push your shoulders to the ceiling, bring your tailbone under. Inhale, open. Exhale, down. One more time. Inhale, open. Exhale, down. come to a neutral spine. We're lifting this right arm up, opening the rib cage, taking a full breath. Exhale, we're feeding down slow and controlled under the left arm. Our cheek comes to the floor, hips stay in the air. You can leave the left arm bent for support, or you can extend it in front of you, or you can fold it behind you. But we're allowing our body to sink down into this bottom shoulder. About 30 more seconds here. On an exhale, release that left palm back to the floor. Inhale, we lift, opening up one more time. Breaking up all that tight connective tissue in the rib cage. Exhale, back to the mat. Inhale, left arm opens. Taking a full breath. Exhale, come down, feet it under the right arm. Palm stays up, cheek to the mat. You decide what you want to do with your right arm. One more full breath. And on the next inhale, let's bring this right palm back to the floor. We're slowly lifting and opening. Exhale down. On our next inhale, we're taking this right leg and crossing it over the left, planting the toes. So we're kind of hooking our hip with our right leg. And on an exhale, look over the left shoulder. So this is going to give you a nice stretch in the right low back.
Feels great.
Oh, I love it. It's like pulling apart all that sticky stuff. Inhale back to center. Exhale, switch sides. Left leg comes over and across. We plant those toes. Hook your legs together. On an exhale, we're looking over the right shoulder. We'll do one more time each side. Inhale to center. Exhale over. Stretching the right this time. Inhale, center. Exhale over. Inhale, come back to center. We're tucking our toes here and shifting our weight into the bottoms of our feet. So we're stretching into the bottoms of our feet where all that tight connective tissue builds up just from walking and standing. If it feels okay, we're trying to shift our weight side to side. We're just stretching into the toes. Inhale, shift your weight forward, roll the ankles. Okay, let's tuck the toes again. On an exhale, we're sending those hips up and back. Our first downward facing dog. It's gonna be tight, that's okay. We're trying to get our heels towards the floor. They might not make it. It's okay if you need to bend the knees. We're pushing the shoulders out and away from the ears, towards the hips. On an inhale, let's shift our weight forward to either plank. You can hover here in plank, or you can drop the knees for modified plank. On an exhale, we're lowering down, belly, chest, chin. Palms come close to the shoulders, hugging into the body. Tops of the feet push into the mat. Our legs, core, butt are engaged. On an inhale, we lift our upper body. Everything is in the lower part. Our hands are not doing the work. Exhale, let's push back over the knees, tuck the toes. One more downward facing dog here. And this time, take your time and pedal into the feet. Bend one knee at a time. Maybe even shift the hips side to side. Find all those tight places. Figure out what it is that your body needs today. Okay, come back to center. On an inhale, we're lifting that right foot, keeping the hips square to the floor, pointing the right toes. On an exhale, let's bring this foot in front of us. We're planting it between our hands, dropping our back knee. Engage the core. We're squeezing our butt and our legs. On an inhale, let's lift the upper body. On an exhale, we're opening up towards our forward knee. And this requires you to squeeze everything. Inhale, center. Exhale, we're opening up away from our forward knee. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, bring the palms to either side of the foot. We're just gonna walk our knee back. Tuck those toes again. On an exhale, shift up, downward facing dog. We do have to do the other side. Things should start feeling a little easier to move now. Inhale, let's lift that left toe. Hips square to the floor. On an exhale, we're bringing that foot through, planting it between our hands. Drop the back knee. We're squeezing everything. On an inhale, we lift. On an exhale, we're opening up towards the bent knee, the forward knee. Inhale, rise. Exhale, we're opening away from the forward knee. Inhale, center. Exhale, palms back down. Tuck those back toes. We're sending our foot back to meet the left. The right. Tuck the toes. On an exhale, one more, downward facing dog. On an inhale, let's shift that weight forward to plank or modified plank. On an exhale, we sink down, belly, chest, chin, or hover in chaturanga. On an inhale, we're coming up to baby cobra or up dog. On an exhale, drop those knees. We're shifting our weight back, hips to heels. Then walk the palms forward, resting your forehead on the mat. Taking a nice child's pose. Trying to fill the lungs with air. And pushing everything out on the exhales. Let's walk our palms over to the left, just a few little palms over, and then we're resting back down. So we're doing a child's pose with a right side body stretch. push back into the palms. We're walking all the way over to the right side. Exhale, lower the forehead back down. Inhale, let's walk our palms back to center. Exhale, shift back up to tabletop. We're tucking those toes, and on an exhale, we are sending the hips up and back, but this time we're walking our palms towards our feet. So you can bend your knees as much as you need to. And when we get to our feet at the back of our mat, on an exhale, we're bending those knees and just letting the upper body rest on the tops of your legs. And if you feel stable, reach for opposite elbows. And as your legs start to warm up, just try to straighten them a little bit at a time. We never want rigidly straight knees, so there's always a bend. But we're trying to work our way into some hamstring stretches here. This music is weird. Take a full inhale. On the exhale, we're relaxing our arms, bending the knees, and rolling up one vertebra at a time. Upper body is totally dead weight. Head is the last thing to come upright. While we're here, we're going to put our hands in reverse prayer. So we're coming behind us with our hands like so. It's just a way to pin the shoulders back. We're going to do our neck stretches standing. So on an exhale, we're trying to bring right ear towards right shoulder. And you'll notice it's a deeper pull down the side arm. And slowly roll your way chin to chest. Next inhale, let's roll the opposite way. Left ear, left shoulder. Inhale, come back to center. Relax your arms, roll the wrists. From here, let's step our right foot forward. Our back foot is at a 45-degree angle. Both of our hips are squared forward. Arms come up. We're warrior one. On an exhale, let's bring those palms down behind us. Clasp the hands. And we're pulling the arms straight, stretching the fronts of the shoulders. Full inhale. On the exhale, we're hinging at the hips, staying to the inside of our forward knee. And we're trying to lower as much as we can. If it feels good, you're free to lift the arms up off the back. Maybe let your head be heavy. You just come to your edge and wait. On an inhale, engage that core. We're slowly lifting, nice and controlled. Release the palms, inhale, lift the arms. On an exhale, we're stepping forward, relaxing down. Next inhale, let's step the right foot back. So now right foot's at a 45-degree angle. Left knee is bent, but you can still see your toes. Hips face forward. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, we're bringing the palms behind us. Clasp them the opposite direction this time, so it should feel awkward. We're pulling the arms away and down. Full inhale. Exhale, we're hinging at the hips. Our legs are engaged. We're staying to the inside of our knee. You can allow the arms to come off the back if it feels okay. Inhale, we lift, slow and controlled. Relax the arms, we'll lift up high. Exhale, step forward. And relax. Inhale, bend the knees, open up, lift the arms. On an exhale, we're bending, sitting in our chair, so our pelvis is tucked under. We're trying to get the arms up close to the ears. Feet can be hip width apart. Some people like their toes together here. On an exhale, we're bringing the palms together. Hands come to heart center. Twist with the core. We're bringing right elbow to left knee. One more full breath here. On an inhale, let's come back to center and we're lifting all the way up. Exhale, sink back into that chair. Palms come back to heart center. This time we're twisting towards the right, left elbow to right knee. Inhale, let's come back to center. Lift all the way up. Exhale, forward fold. We're swan diving towards the floor. Just step the feet all the way back. Drop the knees. We're lowering all the way down. Let's take a reverse Shavasana just for a couple of seconds. So let everything go. From here, we're bringing our arms out to a T. Our palms are facing the floor. And we're going to do a shoulder opener here called Iron Cross. So on an exhale, we're rolling over to the left side using our right arm and leg as leverage. So we're opening up this bottom shoulder. If you have very tight shoulders, you might not get very far, but you control the degree of the stretch with your right arm and leg. So ideally, you want to keep your head relaxed on the mat. There you go. Yeah, and if you need an extra shoulder opener, if it feels okay, you can take that right arm and fold it behind you. But we are breathing into this left side of our shoulder and rib cage. Do about 30 more seconds here. Take a full inhale. On the exhale, relax that right arm if it's behind you, and we're just rolling back to center, bringing the arms in. Allow the forehead to just sink into the mat. This music is making me upset. Okay, we're going to do the opposite side. So palms come back out. Our hands are facing the floor. Take a full inhale. On the exhale, we're using our left side to help us roll over to the right, opening that shoulder. Don't judge your body if it's tighter or if it feels different than the other side. Then we rest our head down. If you need an extra shoulder opener, you can take this left arm and fold it behind you. One more breath here. And again, on the exhale, relax that left arm. We're just sliding back to center, hugging the arms in. So from here, let's pull the arms in close to our body. So we're hugging in close. Our forearms are pushed into the mat, palms included. So tops of the feet are also pressed into the mat. And on an inhale, we're lifting the upper body. So we're coming into Sphinx here. So we're supported on our elbows. So just a nice little back bend here, opening up the chest. Now, if it feels okay, if your low back is not sensitive, you can push into these palms, and on an inhale, we can lift even higher. Be mindful of your low back. We'll take one full inhale. On the exhale, bring the forearms back down. Slowly just roll forward, letting the head relax on the mat.
Can we do that one more time?
Yeah. Do you like it? Mm-hmm. Okay. One more time. Push your weight into your palms. On an inhale, we're lifting so our arms are engaged. We're pulling all the way up this time. Breathe into the belly. One more full breath. On the exhale, allow yourself to just roll back down towards the mat. Letting your head be heavy. Pull the palms close to the shoulders, tuck the toes. On an inhale, let's shift our weight back to tabletop again. Just so that we can come to seated. Swing the legs forward. We're just going to come back to basics here, do a couple simple forward fold stretches. So to begin with, find your sit bones. And at first, let's flex our feet. Inhale, arms up high. On an exhale, we're bending forward at the hips, keeping our back straight. Bring the palms down to either side of your legs. So you're feeling an intense pull right now because everything's engaged. So we're going to take a few breaths here. Now on your next exhale, relax your feet. We're rounding our back. We're letting our head become heavy. We're turning this into a passive pose. We're going to be here for about 1 more minute, so just let yourself be completely passive. Take a deep inhale. On the exhale, let's roll back up to center. Inhale, let's lift those arms. On the exhale, we're crossing this left leg over the right, turning with our core towards the left, bringing the arms down, using this elbow as leverage to help you stretch, and we're turning over our gaze over the shoulder. On an inhale, let's come back to center. Uncross those legs. Next exhale, right leg comes over the left. We turn our core towards the right. Then arms come down. Then we gaze over the shoulder. Inhale, come back to center. Relax that leg. Exhale, arms come down. Let's come down to our backs. So we're gonna lie down. This is the first time we've laid flat. So just take some time to get your back used to the floor. Hug those knees in. Rock side to side. I think we'll start with a good hip opener here. So let's take a half happy baby. We will extend the left leg, option to grab the big toe with your peace fingers or the outside of your foot. It does change the stretch, so you decide what you like better. And then the right ankle is just hugged in. So we're holding the right ankle with our hand, just letting that knee kind of come close to us. And we're exhaling the left side open. We're trying to keep our low back pushed into the mat. If you're really tight, your body's going to want to just roll over to the left side. So send your exhales to those places where you feel the muscles catching. Do about 30 more seconds. On an exhale, let's hug that left knee back in. Just bring the feet to the floor. Maybe windshield wipe the knees back and forth a couple times. We're going to shift to the opposite side. So now we're hugging the left ankle in close to the body with the left hand. And we're extending the right leg, either grabbing the big toe with the peace fingers or the outside of the foot. Whatever feels best for your hips. We're trying to keep our low back on the mat. So with every exhale, we're just trying to relax this right leg open a little bit more. seconds. On an inhale, let's bring that right leg back in. Bring the feet back to the floor. Windshield wipe the knees. So let's come back to center and bring the heels close to the glutes. Our feet are hip width apart. Our palms are face down on the mat. Our palms are face down. Our palms are pressed down into the mat. On an exhale, we're sending those hips up to bridge. So we're squeezing our hips and our core. We're trying to create like a flat ramp. So we're going to hold this for about 30 seconds without the arms this first time. Just breathing into the pelvis here. On your next exhale, we're just sending our hips towards the floor, one vertebra at a time. Hug those knees in and rock it out. We will do that once more with the shoulders included. Okay, so come back to center. We're planting our feet again, hip width apart, heels close to the glutes. Arms are pressed down into the mat. On an inhale, let's lift those hips up. Nice and slow, one arm at a time. We're rolling them under, clasping the hands, pulling the arms straight, and trying to breathe here. So we're opening the chest now also, the whole front side of the body. One more full breath. One shoulder at a time, release. And on an exhale, we roll down, letting the spine come back to the mat, hugging those knees in. Rock it out, massage the low back into the floor. All right, so now we're bringing our feet to the edges of our mat, and our knees are close together. Arms come out wide. And on an exhale, we're coming up onto our heels and shifting our knees over to the right. So you can adjust your feet however you need to, especially to protect this left knee. You don't want to feel like pinching or burning at all. But so our knees are over while our feet are separated. We're focusing on the front of this left hip first. So we're just trying to be completely passive. If you get to the point where you don't feel a stretch anymore, just try separating the legs a little more.
This is in the front of the thighs.
Yes. Yep. Both of those knees back to center and kind of heel toe the feet back to where they need to be at the edges of your mat. Take another full inhale. Again, on the exhale, we're coming up onto our heels just so that we can roll our knees over safely to the left this time. If it's not enough of a stretch, separate those legs a little bit more just by walking the feet. Rest the knees down, letting everything be passive. But be mindful of that right knee. And just straighten your legs one at a time. Pointing the toes, bringing the arms overhead, and just pull. Let's create one long line. Stretching as far as we can. On an exhale, just let it go. From here, we're going to roll over to our left side using our arm as a pillow. And this right leg is going to plant behind the left leg. So we're trying to get the foot flat to the floor. You might not be able to, but as long as you're feeling a stretch in the hip flexor on the top of the right side, you're good. Option to put an arm stretch into it also. You can bend the right arm behind you if you want for a shoulder opener. On an exhale, let's release the arm. Bring the leg back down to meet the left. And just take a breath here. And before we do the other side, let's come to our bellies in the middle of the mat. We're just going to shift into tabletop for a second so that we can come into puppy dog. So we're up on our knees and we're walking our arms forward. And on an exhale, so our hips stay in the air, they do not come back to our heels. And on an exhale, we're trying to lower our arms and chin to the floor. You might not get all the way there, but we're just trying to breathe, opening space into the front of the body, underneath the shoulder girdle. We're gonna hold for about 30 seconds. Exhale, push back into those palms, and then we're walking our palms closer to us, coming down to our forearms. So it's like tabletop, except we're in forearms, on our forearms. And from here on an exhale, just let your head come all the way down. Let it be totally heavy so that you can feel a nice stretch at the base of the skull. And we're just breathing here. Let your jaw be loose. If it feels okay, maybe just turn your head side to side. We're getting all those connecting points where the skull and the spine meet. From here, we're just going to shift back down onto our right side this time, using our arm as a pillow. The left leg steps behind the right, trying to plant the foot, opening up this left hip flexor. Option to bring the left arm involved, folding it behind. exhale, release that arm, bend the leg. Just come to your side and take a breath. And from here, let's roll onto our backs. So our knees are bent, and we're crossing the left leg over the right knee, and this left foot stays flexed. Arms come out wide again, and on an exhale, we're bringing our legs over to the right side until this left foot touches the floor. So if this is too much pressure on your low back, you can put a block or something to like bring the floor closer to your leg. And we're trying to get our upper back resting flat on the floor. Take a full inhale. On the exhale, let's roll back to center, nice and slow. We're going to switch our feet. Left foot plants on the floor, right foot crosses over. Next exhale, both legs fall over to the left side. Trying to keep the back flat to the floor, the upper back flat to the floor. Take another full inhale. On our exhale, we're just rolling back to center and straightening the legs, bringing the arms down by your side. We're coming to Shavasana to close out our practice. So this is your final chance to just connect with your breath and listen to what your body's trying to tell you. roll over to the right side and take a few breaths there. And take as much time as you need, but I'll meet you at seated when you're ready. So close your eyes and bring your hands back to heart center. And really think about how you're feeling differently now compared to when you first started today. And just know that this is always waiting for you. The gift of yoga is always here for you. Whether you have 5 minutes or 5 hours, it's always here. And thank yourself for coming to your mat today. Namaste.